Welcome to the Release Control Podcast. I know it's been a while since I dropped an episode, but we back, baby. We back talking relationships, dating, breakups, no contact, all of it, just like I used to. So this week's episode, we're talking about the 5 most searched topics about relationships on the internet. So if you're not following me, hit that follow button. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been listening before, I appreciate the support. Let's dive deep in it, baby. Let's go. All right. So the first one, when do I know if this relationship is really healthy? It's simple. You know that you're in a healthy relationship if you can talk to your partner, if you can communicate, if you can tell them your wants, your needs, and your desires without feeling like they're going to ignore you, neglect you, get angry, or start a freaking fight. That's how you know, okay? If you have to walk on eggshells in your relationship, it's not healthy. If you fear bringing anything up in your relationship because they'll get angry or it'll start a fight, it's not a healthy relationship. A healthy relationship, you are free to be yourself. As weird as you want to be, as quirky as you want to be, you can be yourself. You can express yourself. You can talk about the things you want to talk about and you feel safe. You can be vulnerable with this person. You can be yourself. And that's what every relationship should be. You should be with somebody that loves you, that wants to be with you. It doesn't matter how quirky you are, how silly you are. You want somebody to love you, right? You don't want to be a fake version of yourself, or you don't want to pretend to be someone else. You want to be you. And if you can do that, that's a sign. And if you're not in that type of a relationship, then you need to address it. You need to talk to your partner. You need to tell them that you don't feel safe when you bring things up, or you're scared to bring things up because you feel like it'll start a fight. That's what you need to do. And it's simple, okay? You just bring it up. And it takes 2 individuals in a relationship for a relationship to succeed, for a relationship to work. And if you bring it up to them and they don't want to talk about it, or they push it to the side, or they say everything is fine, or they don't fucking want to talk about anything you're talking about, or they say that you're crazy or whatever, then that's a fucking problem. That's not a healthy relationship. That's something that you need to get out of. So how do you get out of an unhealthy relationship? You fucking leave. If you've tried everything, if you've tried to talk to them and get them to work on the relationship, and you're putting in all the effort over and over and over again, and it's only you putting in effort, then you're just in a one-sided relationship, and I can argue that it's not a relationship. So that's when you have to walk away. So that's how you know you're in a healthy relationship. That's how you know you're in a toxic relationship, and that's how you know it's time to get out of it. So you want somebody to love you, and you want to love somebody, right? You want to fucking love them for who they are, not for who you think they are. And that's real love, man. Real love loves you for you. Real love shows up every single day loving you regardless of you're good, you're bad, and you're ugly, right? Real love doesn't force you to change. Real love accepts you for you. And if that person cannot accept you for who you are, it's not real love. It's not a relationship. It's not your person. You see, in relationships, there's difficult moments, right? Sometimes you wish that your person doesn't yell or scream or act a certain way, but you can't force them to change. You can ask them like, hey, this is affecting the relationship. I think this needs to be addressed, and it's on them to change that behavior for themselves so they can grow as a person and for the relationship to grow as a whole. And then vice versa for you too. They should be able to talk to you about things. They should be able to bring things up to you. And you should be able to sit back, listen, not feel judged, and be able to be like, hey, okay, I understand where you're coming from. I see that. I gotcha. Let me work on that. And that's how you grow in relationships. And that's how you know a relationship is healthy. When 2 individuals know their trauma, know their triggers, and are willing to put in the work to grow as individuals and as a team for that relationship. That's what it is. It's not that difficult. It's not that easy. And if somebody's not willing to work, then they don't want to be in that relationship. They're not loving you the way you need to be loved. Relationships are hard. Relationships are easy sometimes, right? And both individuals should be willing and wanting to grow for that relationship and really for themselves, because when you grow, you become a better version of yourself, and then that relationship becomes a better relationship. So everybody's winning. You're growing, the relationship is growing, and everything is becoming fucking amazing. That's a healthy relationship. That's real love. And then that's what toxic relationships look like, and that's what toxic love looks like. So what are you going to accept? Are you going to accept somebody that loves you and wants to grow and wants to, become or get into a healthy relationship? Or do you want to be in a toxic love? Or does a person want to be in a toxic relationship? These are the questions you have to ask yourself. So sometimes relationships are hard, but sometimes they're pretty fucking simple and easy. It's just putting in the work that requires some sacrifice, that requires you to change a little bit for yourself so you can become a better version of yourself and for the relationship. The second most searched question is, how do I recover and move on after a breakup? Look, breakups are tough. My girlfriend that I'm with right now, we went through a breakup. There was a moment in time that we were no contact. The relationship was done. I didn't think we would ever get back together. Now we're back together, and the relationship is much freaking healthier than it's ever been, because we grew during that time apart, and we're continuing to grow because we learned all the things we needed to learn during that time apart so we could grow as individuals and grow in either a future relationship or, now that we're back together, in our current relationship. So by recovering, or how do you recover after a breakup, is you're focusing on yourself. During or after a breakup, a lot of people want to reach out to their ex. They want to beg for them back. They want to plead things will be different. But you need to focus on yourself. That's how you recover. That's how you move on. When you put all that energy, all that focus into yourself, because you want to grow as a person. You want to look at that relationship. You want to take a step back and look at that relationship holistically, right? How did I show up? How did my partner show up? And then how did we show up together? What are some of the things that I can work on, right? Because a lot of people always play the blame game. My ex did this. My ex did that. It's all their fault. There's nothing wrong with me. Nobody's perfect, man. We have so many fucking errors within ourselves. We're not perfect. We're inhuman, if that's the right word I'm using. We're not fucking perfect, man. We're unperfect, if that's the right word. Shit, I don't fucking know. I'm tired. So look, at the end of the day, we're human. We all make mistakes. None of us are perfect. So you want to look at that relationship holistically. You want to take a step back. And after a breakup, you're going through emotions, right? A lot of people, especially anxious individuals, are going through a lot of fucking feelings. They want to reach out. They want to beg. They want to plead. They're confused. They need answers. You're not going to get answers, man. You're not going to get answers. It doesn't matter what your ex tells you after a breakup. It's not going to make it easier. It's not going to help you. It's not going to make it easier. And it's not going to help you after that breakup. No matter what they say, they can tell you that they love you, that it's the best thing to do. It's maybe in the future. Nothing they tell you is going to comfort you after a breakup. So you are focused on yourself. And I know it's easier said than done because you're going through a lot of emotions. Like anxious individuals, they go through a lot of emotions. I miss them. I need them. My world is crumbling without them, right? And then you have avoidance who can just avoid all their feelings and just move on. So an anxious individual sees that and they're like, damn, they didn't care about me. They didn't care about the relationship. They're moving on. They're having fun. While an anxious individual is sitting at home just feeling every freaking emotion. For an anxious individual to move on, you have to feel all those emotions. You have to go through it. But you cannot allow your emotions to control your behavior and dictate what you do. You have to control them. And you have to step back, acknowledge what you're feeling, and tell yourself that these feelings are not going to control your behavior or what you do moving forward. And avoidance need to as well feel those feelings. You cannot suppress them. You cannot push them down. You cannot just think that they're going to magically move on. To recover and move on, you have to sit in the pain. You have to acknowledge the pain. Every moment that hits you, you have to take a moment, feel it, understand it, allow it to be there, cry if you need to, and get through it and get to the other side of that emotion or that feeling that you're currently having. Allow yourself to feel it. Allow yourself to have it. Breakups or the emotions after the breakup, life after a breakup is like a wave. You're going to have ups and downs. You're going to have highs. You're going to have lows. You're going to have moments of, damn, I feel amazing. And then, damn, this really fucking sucks. I miss them. I want to call them. It's 10 o'clock at night. I can't sleep. It's 2 a.m. I just want to reach out to them. I want to look on their social media. You're going to go through all that and allow yourself to do it. But be strong. Do not allow your emotions to get the better of you. Do not reach out to them. Give them their space, right? Respect the breakup. Give them that space because they need it and you need it. You need to be able to look back how you showed up, how they showed up, what you won't accept moving forward, and how or what type of relationship you need moving forward in your next relationship, or if things work out and you get back together with them. That's another thing. You need time to process the breakup, to process everything before you even think about getting back together with them. Because if you do not do that, if you do not go through all that stuff after the breakup, if you don't work on all the issues that caused the breakup, then you're just going to have another breakup if y'all get back together. And you're just wasting this opportunity. You're just wasting each other's time. So recovering is so important after a breakup. Putting in that time and that love for yourself, giving you the opportunity just to focus on yourself, right? Because in relationships, a lot of times people lose themselves because they focus so much on their partner, thinking that if they pour all this love onto them, that the relationship is going to be magical, and then they forget about themselves over here, and they lose all this love and all this admiration for themselves, and they build up a lot of resentment. That's why 10 years down the road, 5 years down the road, 20 years down the road, you see a lot of people with resentment like, I forgot who I was. I lost myself. I didn't get to do this. I didn't get to do that. Now they just have all this anger and resentment towards their partner because they think it's their partner's fault, but it's your fault because you forgot who you are. You need to be in a relationship with someone who supports you. You need to be in a relationship with yourself where you know that you support yourself, that you know that no matter what, you won't stop being you. So who you get into a relationship with, who you marry, is one of the most important decisions of your life. Okay, now I'm rambling. Let's get back to fucking recovering and moving on after a breakup. So it's important to focus on yourself after a breakup, to really love yourself, to really have grace for yourself, because you're going through a breakup and breakups are difficult. You love this person. You made plans with this person. You saw a future with this person, and all of a sudden it's over. All of a sudden it's gone. And it's heartbreaking, especially if you truly love that person and that person truly loved you. Breakups are hard both ways. If you really cared about each other and you really loved each other, breakups are not easy. They're difficult. So just have some grace for yourself. Allow yourself to feel those fucking feelings, but pick yourself up. Don't stay stuck in those feelings. Allow yourself to feel them. Be present with them, but get back up and continue moving. Get hobbies. Hang out with friends. Get in social groups. Get back out there in the social world and feel those moments of emptiness with people, with family, with love, okay? And get back out there and do what you've always wanted to do. Find your hobbies. Go out hiking. Go out running. Go out exercising. Love yourself. This is your time to put all that effort and love back into yourself. Focus on yourself. Don't focus on dating. Don't focus on situationships. Don't focus on going out, drinking, and having a good time. It's about you recovering, growing, healing, and becoming the best version of yourself. That's how you're going to recover. That's how you're going to move on from a breakup. The third one, because I talked a lot on that one. The third one, the third most searched question is, what are the red flags I'm ignoring because I hope this relationship works out? A lot of red flags that we ignore is communication, right? Or lack of communication, or arguments, how people show up in arguments. There's so many red flags we ignore because someone is so fucking attractive, or someone likes us, or someone is hotter than somebody we've ever dated before, right? This is the hottest person, so I'm going to ignore these red flags because, oh, this person's an amazing person, but just right now they're having a bad day, or whatever the case may be. We ignore these red flags because we love this person, we care about this person, or we want to be with this person. You can't ignore the red flags. I don't care how hot this person is, how amazing their body is, how incredible they are. You cannot ignore the red flags. You address them. I'm not saying you run as soon as you see the red flag. You run. No, you address it. You give them the opportunity to fix it, and you fucking move on if they don't fix it. So a red flag would be like, hey, when we argue, all you do is scream, yell, and cuss at me and belittle me. I'm not going to tolerate that. That's a red flag. You identified it. You're giving them the time and the space and the opportunity to work on it, to acknowledge it. Like, hey, you know what? I'm sorry. I got it. If I had trauma from my childhood, when I get in certain situations, I get so mad, so angry, so flustered. I apologize. I need to work on that. And if they do that, if they address their red flags and say, hey, I'm going to work on it, that's what you need. Okay? Again, it goes back to love. It goes back to empathy. It goes back to understanding that we are just humans. Okay? But a lot of times we just ignore the red flags. We don't address it. We don't talk about it because we don't want to rock the boat. We don't want to start an argument. We don't want to lose them. We don't want to push them further away. But you have to address it. You have to talk about it. And there's nothing wrong with red flags necessarily. It's when the person doesn't want to put in the work. It's when the person does not want to talk about the red flags that you bring up. It's them, I don't know what you're talking about, or you're crazy, or you don't know what you're talking about. I said that already. And they just push it to the side. They just ignore what you're saying. Somebody that cares about you, somebody that loves you, will acknowledge what you're saying and be like, you know what? You got a good point. It's called self-awareness, and a lot of people don't have it. That's why it's so important when you find somebody that you find the right person. Okay? You're looking for a lot of little pieces for somebody to be the right person for you. Okay? And I'm going to get off topic real quick. A lot of people have a checklist of items. I want my guy to be over 6 foot. I want them to look like this. I want them to be at the gym. You're looking for a lot of surface level shit, right? Then you have people, I need my girl to have a thin waist but a big ass, and I need them to have brown hair or blue eyes or whatever. You have this laundry list of what your perfect person looks like. But what about the inside? What about their personality? What about how they act during arguments? What about how do they treat people, or their personality? Or are they loving? Are they caring? Do they have empathy? Do they have emotional intelligence? We're not looking at the real shit that fucking matters. Okay? We're looking at height. We're looking at eye color. We're looking at fucking, do they have a suntan? We're looking at their ass, their abs, their arms. We're looking at the shit that doesn't really fucking matter. It matters, but it doesn't matter. How they care about you, how they show up for you. Do they love you? Do they yell at you? Do they belittle you? Or do they show empathy when you are fucking frustrated? Do they show understanding when you don't know how to articulate your feelings? This is what fucking matters in relationships, and people just fucking ignore it. But anyways, back to the red flags. Don't ignore the red flags. But we ignore them a lot, and some of them is communication. Some people just don't know how to fucking communicate, right? They think they're communicating, but they're not getting their message across. Or they don't know how to actively listen to you. They don't know how to sit there and listen to what you're saying and understand what you're saying. A lot of people don't have empathy. A lot of people don't have self-awareness. These are red flags that we ignore because oh, we're so in love with them, or we feel a certain way about them, or because they're pretty or they're attractive or they're tall. You got to stop ignoring the red flags. I'm not saying, again, I'm not saying run from them. I'm saying address them, bring it to their attention, just in case, because sometimes, me included, I don't always see my worst qualities. Sometimes I like to imagine that I'm the best fucking person out there, but I'm not. Again, I'm human. I make mistakes. I have biases. I have a certain way of how I see relationships or certain things in life, right? But what I do know is when somebody brings something up to me, I listen. I'm understanding. I have self-awareness of who I am. I like to believe I have really good self-awareness, but there's some times that I don't. Sometimes I think I see myself in a certain way, and maybe I'm not. Like the other day, my girlfriend said that she tried to bring something up to me, and I didn't fucking sit there and acknowledge what she was saying. I started talking about my stuff that was going on in my life, and I didn't acknowledge that in the moment. And when she brought it up, I was like, you know what? You got a fucking point. You brought up something that was important to you, and I kind of just pushed it to the side and started talking about my stuff. And it irritated her. And she didn't necessarily bring it up to me the same day or that evening. She kind of sat on it, but I knew something was wrong. She kind of sat on it and brought it up to me the next day. And I was like, you know what? You're fucking right. And I apologize. You know, that's fucked up of me. So that's what I'm talking about, self-awareness. But dude, I need to get back on red flags. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, red flags. You got to address it. You got to talk about it. You got to be able to address it with your partner. And it goes back to what we said. How do you know your relationship is healthy? Is you're able to bring things up, you're able to talk about it, and your person can sit there, be understanding, have self-awareness and empathy of where you're coming from. They don't have to agree with you all the time, but if they show these skills of understanding, empathy, loving, then that's what I'm talking about. That's where you need to be at. So don't ignore the red flags. Talk about them. Address them. The next question, number four. How do I balance my identity with being in a relationship without losing myself? Okay, perfect question. How do you not lose yourself in a relationship? I think it goes back to finding the right person for you. Okay? This is how you want to show up in a relationship, right? This is how, just prime example. You want to show up in a relationship or who you are. You're somebody that likes to work out. You like to run. You like to hike. You like to do activities that are physical, things that are outside. Okay, so how do I not lose myself in a relationship? Maybe you find somebody that likes a lot of the things you do. Somebody that likes to work out. Somebody that likes to hike. Somebody that likes to run. Maybe you do these things together. Or somebody, if they don't like doing it, it's somebody that allows you to go to the gym. That somebody that's not going to give you shit for, oh, you're going running again. Oh, you're going for another 5-mile run or any of that stuff, right? You want somebody that is, what's the word I'm looking for? That is your cheerleader, that is going to love you for you, that is going to be okay with you going out and running, or you going out to the gym, or you lifting weights, or you, I don't know, fucking making music, whatever you enjoy. You have to have somebody that supports you, somebody that's going to cheer you on, somebody that's going to understand that, hey, this person enjoys doing this, and I'm not going to take it away from them. They are their own person. They're going to do that. And while they're doing that, I'm doing what I'm doing over here. That's why everybody needs to have hobbies. You have what you have. They have what they have. And either you can do it together or you can do it separately, right? Everybody needs to have their own thing. Again, working out, running, music, I don't fucking know, podcasts, walking, hiking, whatever it is, painting, whatever it is. You should have your own stuff, and then you should have stuff together. Things that you do with friends, things they do with friends, things you do alone, things they do alone, and then things you do together and things you do with other couples. That's how you don't lose yourself. Did I say that right? That's how you're not going to lose yourself in a relationship, because a lot of people, you know, they enjoy what they do, and then they meet somebody that has no interests that they have, and then this person is not their biggest cheerleader. This person gets angry when they go work out, or there you go, working out again. This is your 4th time this week. Or they just give them shit over and over again, and then they're like, fuck, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to hear them fucking whining and bitching all the time. And then they start losing themselves, and it's slowly. Resentment is built slowly, and that's how relationships are fucking killed, by resentment. So find somebody that's either likes the same activities you like, or somebody that is not going to give you shit for the things you like. Someone that's going to cheer you on. Someone that's going to be there when you're out there running and cheering you on, right? When you're training for a marathon, you want somebody to have that fucking poster saying, "Let's go, babe, you got this." You want somebody to fucking cheer you on, somebody that's going to support you, someone that's going to support the things that you like doing, and vice versa. You got to support the things they like doing. And that's how you don't lose yourself in a relationship, because it's so easy. It's so easy to get into a relationship and change everything about yourself to make them happy, or vice versa. They change everything about themselves to make you happy. And that's not what relationship is. That's not what real love is. So that's how you don't lose yourself in a relationship. It's tough. Finding the right person is key. It's so much fucking important. It's so fucking important. And a lot of people, again, go off the checklist, and then they find the person they want. 6 foot, blonde hair, nice ass, nice body. And then they get into that relationship, and then they start changing who they are, because that person doesn't like that they go out, or they hang out with their friends, or they work out so much, or they're always fucking running, or they're always hiking, or they're always out in the wilderness, or they're always doing photography, or they're always, working on their podcast, or they're always doing their business, working on their business and trying to grow their business. You need somebody that's going to support you, someone that's going to love you for you and allow you just to be you. You don't want to be with someone that's going to try to force you to fucking change. You can't force people to change. It's not fucking fair to do, and you're not their fucking parent. It's 2 grown adults in a relationship trying to grow together. And that's what it is. You got to find a balance of doing the things you enjoy doing, they doing the things they enjoy doing, and sometimes you mix and match, right? Sometimes you do the things they want to do, sometimes they do the things you want to do, and then you find things to do together with other couples or by yourself as a couple, and that's how you fucking stay being yourself in a relationship, and that's how you do it in a healthy way. Question number 5, how soon should I talk about commitment, goals, and the future without scaring them off? That's a great question. When you're dating somebody, when do you start talking about commitment? When you start talking about feelings, goals, future? I think you talk about some of these things right away, like your goals. What are your goals in life? And it could be anything. So you're dating someone and you're talking about, man, I want to do a fucking marathon in 6 months, and I'm training up for it, and it takes a lot of my time. These are my goals. I'm trying to get a promotion at work. I'm trying to run a 4K, or not a 4K, but a marathon, and I'm trying to do this and do that. This is where my head is. These are my goals, and they need a champion you on. They need to be your fucking cheerleader, okay? They got to be down for that, and vice versa. I think it's great to talk about your goals early on, just to see what they think about that. Think about your goals, or kind of see where they're at mentally with your goals, if they're on the same page, if they see life differently. I think you talk about that stuff early on. And then as far as commitment, I think you talk about what commitment looks like to you. I think you talk about what relationship looks like to you. If you're looking to get married, if you're looking to be in a serious relationship, you talk about that stuff early on. You talk about, finances, who pays what. That's stuff you talk about. I wouldn't say straight on the first date, but you want to talk about that within the month or 2, right? Because you want to be on the same page with somebody. You don't want to waste your time 6 months down the road, a year down the road, and then you're talking about finances, and then you're talking about bills, and then you're talking about debt, because that shit can backfire on you real quickly. So why waste your time? You're wasting 6 months before you talk about finances, or you talk about sexual desires or any of that stuff. You want to be upfront with who you are, what you have, and what you vision your life in the future to be. Knock that shit out early, because either they're with you or they're not on board, and you just saved yourself time, you just saved themselves time, and you're not wasting a fucking heartbreak later down the road. So it's not about scaring them off. It's just about being your honest self. It's about being authentic. It's about showing up, being vulnerable. Hey, this is who I am. This is how I see life. This is what I love to do. These are my goals. What do you fucking think? Either they're on board like, fuck yeah, dude, I want to run a marathon too. Or I'll support the shit out of your marathon training. I'll be there. I'll fucking be at, mile 4, giving you fucking whatever. I'll be over here. I'll be there with the sign. I love hiking. I want to go hiking. I want to go camping. I would love to do that with you. I've never gone camping, but I would love to. All these things, that's what you do. You talk about it early on. You tell them everything that you like, your goals, your ambitions, what you see your future to be, and see if it can mesh with how they see their future. That leads to a healthy relationship because you don't want to act like something that you're not. You get into a relationship and now you don't want to do those things when they expected you to like those things, and it becomes just a shitstorm of nonsense, resentment built up, and then you just fucking break up later on. A lot of people don't show up being their true self in the dating world because they're scared of judgment, because they're scared that someone's not going to like them. At the end of the day, who gives a fuck? The person that's going to be with you is going to love you for you, and that's what you want them to do. You want them to love you for you. If you are fucking 40 years old and you fucking love to play with Legos, or you love to fucking paint, or you love to sing in the car and you want to be a singer, you want people that are going to fucking root for you. At the end of the day, you want somebody to love you for you. If you love to fucking draw, if you love to write poems, you want somebody to support you. And there's too many people showing up not being themselves, thinking that they're going to get judged or that hot person is going to like them. So what? Who cares if they're fucking hot? If they're not going to love you for you, you're wasting your time. You're wasting their time. Why would you want to do it? And I know it sounds harsh, and I know maybe it's too upfront, and dating is tricky, but you got to be yourself. You have to be yourself. If you like fucking anime, if you love fucking comic books, fucking do it, bro. Do it. If you love collecting fucking toys, do it. Look, I'm a kid at heart. I'm old as fuck. I'm 45. I would love to fucking collect toys and shit. I would. That's something that I want to fucking do, but I just can't find anything that I really want to start collecting. I used to collect G.I. Joes, but can't fucking find those things anymore. The other day, not the other day, maybe like last month, I went into a comic book store with my girlfriend. I was like a fucking kid, and she was like, this guy's fucking nerdy. Yeah, but she didn't give me shit about it. And man, I saw some cool fucking G.I. Joes there that I should have fucking bought. But that's what I'm talking about. She allows me to be me, and I allow her to be her. She's got ADHD. Fucking shit. Maybe I got it too. She has ADHD, so she's always on the move. She can't sit down and watch a movie. It takes a lot for her to sit down and watch a show with me without getting up and cleaning or doing laundry or doing this or vacuuming or sweeping. She's always on the go. She's always wanting to walk, to hike, to be on the beach. She wants to be on the go. And for me, sometimes it can be a lot, but that's who she is. And I love her for that because it gets me moving. It gets me going. So I love it. And she loves me for me, And I fucking love it. We are great together. And it's fucking great relationship. And that's what you need to find. You need to find somebody that fucking, is compatible with you. Somebody that doesn't complete you necessarily, but someone that makes you better, someone that loves you for you. I can be my fucking self around her. I don't have to act like somebody else, and I love it. I fucking love it, and I want everybody to find that type of love. And I think by you showing up your authentic self with an open heart and ready for love without jadedness and anger in your heart, you'll find it, but you have to be vulnerable. And I know a lot of people are like, I don't want to find true love. I don't want to find love. I've been hurt in the past. Then be fucking single, Karen. I don't give a fuck. This is for the people that actually want love, for the people that really want to find their person. I'm telling you right now, be your real self. Show up authentically. Love like fucking you'll never love again. Love like a fucking romantic fucking movie, right? But be realistic. Don't just fall for random bullshit. You know, have boundaries. Be there with an open heart. And you're going to fucking find love. I'm telling you right now. You're going to go through a lot of fucking messed up people, but you'll find love. It's like weeding through the bullshit. You're weeding through the fucking forest, trying to get to the other side of the fucking forest, to the beautiful fucking lake, the clear water, the waterfall, all that stuff. That's your love. But you got to weed through the fucking forest to get to it. You know, everybody wants the end result. Everybody wants love, but nobody wants to work for it. Nobody wants to have the self-awareness to work on themselves and be ready for when love shows up. When love shows up, you got to be ready because you don't know when it's going to show up. It can show up for you tomorrow. It can show up for you in 2 years. You got to be ready for it, right? And you're not focused on it. You're focused on you. You're focused on you becoming the best version of yourself. And when you do that, when you work on yourself, when you focus on yourself and you have an open heart and you're vulnerable and you're real and you're ready for love, it will show up. Until then, it won't. But that's my episode for this week, everybody. So real quick, if you're not following me, hit that follow button, okay? New podcast every week. And check out my social media, okay? I'm on TikTok. I think it's Release Control _podcast. I'm on YouTube. It's just search Release Control Podcast. I'm on Instagram. Again, search Release Control Podcast, and you'll find me there. Look, I'm back. I'm excited. I love this shit. Go check out my social media. I've been posting constantly. Let's go, baby. Also, have a great, amazing week, and I wish you nothing but love and happiness. Let's go. Until next week.